In order to safely perform certain job tasks, many occupations require good binocular vision. Binocular vision includes the ability to appreciate depth of an object relative to another object. For many people, using binocular cues allows a person to go about daily tasks and function normally. However, many times, precise judgment of depth is necessary, and binocular cues are not enough. In this situation, full stereopsis is an essential requirement. Some certain job titles have requirements in order to fill such positions. A moderate degree of stereopsis is around 80 seconds of arc and is usually the minimum requirement for binocular vision standards of occupations. This level of stereopsis represents adequate safety and efficiency in the workplace. Along with good binocular vision, people in these professions must have two eyes appropriately aligned with equally clear vision. Examples of occupations that have certain binocular vision requirements include, but are not limited to, police officers, pilots, and forklift operators. In order for forklift drivers to appropriately perform their task, they must have no diplopia, no tropia, and have a normal field of view. Oftentimes, testing the stereopsis of forklift operators is done using the Titmus test or the Randot test. The American Optometric Association suggests stereopsis of at least 80 seconds of arc for this profession. The AOA also suggests a minimum visual field of 70 degrees horizontally on each side of fixation for forklift drivers. Without normal binocular vision, forklift drivers would not have the correct depth perception to know where to grab or where to place items that they are carrying. It would be dangerous in the workplace for a forklift operator to have reduced stereopsis.
In this video, the forklift driver was able to appropriately complete her task without any issues because she had normal binocular vision. In this video, the forklift driver did not have appropriate binocular vision. Since the forklift operator's depth perception was compromised, she misjudged where the worker was standing and ran into her. Binocular vision requirements help us to avoid situations like these in the workplace and maintain adequate safety for workers at all times.
Pilots often do not specifically have binocular vision requirements, but it's still very important that they have good stereopsis. Private pilots and commercial pilots that have binocular vision defects or have diplopia will be considered unfit for the job, yet there are no specific stereopsis requirements. While flying, pilots are not allowed to wear monovision lenses in which one eye is corrected for the distance and the other eye is corrected for near. This does not allow for good binocular vision to be viewed with the two eyes, and it will hinder the pilot's depth perception. Vision is extremely important for pilots, as well as their use of binocular vision and depth perception. However, it is possible for someone to become a pilot without binocular vision by using binocular cues to depth perception. This skill has to be learned by the pilot, and they must use techniques such as the interposition of objects, convergence, geometrical perspective, lighting and shading, known object sizes, aerial perspective, and motion parallax.
In this video, the pilot was able to appropriately land her plane because she had good stereopsis and was able to correctly use her instruments and judge how far away she was from the runway. In this video, the pilot's lack of stereo vision caused problems that resulted in a crash. The pilot could have pushed the wrong button on her control panel while seeing double, or could have misjudged the runway due to decreased depth perception. We do not want these problems to occur in the real world.
Police officers must have clear and comfortable binocular vision with good stereopsis at both distance and near with their correction on. If stereo acuity testing, when tested with a Titmus test or something equivalent, is worse than 80 seconds of arc, if they are greater than or equal to 5 esophoria or 5 exophoria in the distance, or if they are greater than or equal to 6 esophoria or 10 exophoria at near, then they must be referred for screening by an optometrist. These requirements ensure that stereopsis is not an issue for the officers while on the job. Police officers serve an important role in our community, and we expect them to have normal binocular vision in order to carry out their daily task and to properly protect us.
In this video, the police officer was able to appropriately judge the distance of the criminal and successfully handcuff her because she was not experiencing any problems with her stereo vision. In this video, the police officer reached out to grab the criminal, but misjudged her location due to decreased depth perception. This mistake left a criminal on the streets and shows the importance of good binocular vision in police officers.
Binocular vision is a requirement for the level of precise detail necessary in many occupations. Without proper stereopsis, an employee would be unable to safely and adequately perform the task at hand. Vision requirements for jobs may seem restricting to some, but they are necessary to minimize errors and maximize safety. For forklift operators, the requirements of binocular vision and full field of view help to reduce workplace injuries and accidents. This saves both the employer and employees time and money. For pilots, poor stereopsis could result in serious accidents, which could have severe repercussions. Many people may take depth perception for granted and not realize how big of a difference it truly makes. But for tasks such as flying a plane, even the slightest misjudgment could lead to dangerous consequences. For police officers in a high-intensity situation, stereo vision can present a huge advantage. An officer may have to act very instinctively, and being able to accurately judge distance quickly can help them make an appropriate decision. While having binocular vision may come naturally to most, it is actually a detailed process between the eyes and the brain. We get stereo vision because an object in the real world is slightly offset between the two eyes, presenting slightly different images to each retina. Our brain is able to connect the two images so that when we look at that object, we see it as having depth instead of being flat. This connection between objects, our eyes, and our brain is very important in many aspects of life. It helps us do simple things such as pick up things we want off the ground, helps us drive, play sports, and write. It is not necessary for life, but it is an incredible feature provided by our complex and fascinating eyes. It helps us go above basic tasks and allows us to excel in our jobs and in our lives.